In the last class, we have seen this table. Okay, we have talked about the parts of speech in Arabic, or the types of words, okay, in Arabic. So basically, there are three types of verbs. There are three types of verbs. The first one is called the isim, ismun. The second one is fi'lun, fi'l, and the third one is called harfun or harf. Isim is noun, fi'l is verb, and harfun, okay, this is not the harf alif bata. Alif bata tha, that is also called as the harf, but this is another harf. In grammar we call it we call harf, we refer to the word harf as a word, okay, not the letter itself. So there are several groups of words that we call them harf. Okay, so harf here is not a single letter alif, ba, ta, tha. No. What we mean by harf here is words, right? Words with meaning. That is the meaning of harf in grammar. Okay, let us look at some examples of isim or noun. So, for example, the word talib. Talib, a student, that is an isim. Muhammad, okay, the name of a person, that is an isim. Sayara, a car, an object, that is another isim. So if you can see, if you look at all these words, they have this similarity, which is the tanwin, talibun, talibun, tanwin, Muhammadun. So you look at the ending of the word, you have this tanwin, Muhammadun, and also sayyaratun, this tanwin. So this is one of the signs of an isim. If you see a word with this tanwin, it doesn't matter whether it is tanwin dhamma or tanwin fathah, an, or tanwin kasra, in. So these are all the sign of an isim. If you can put a tanwin to a word, that is the indicator that the word is a noun or an isim. Okay, we look at the next word. Al-qalam, al-qalam, the pen. As-samak, the fish. Al-utla, the holiday. These are all isim as well. Okay, qalam, an object, samak, an animal, and utla, a concept. That is also an isim. If you look at these three words, they have another similarity, which is the alif lam. Al-qalam, as-samak, al-utla. So if you can have alif lam, if you can add alif lam to a word, that is another indicator that the word is an isim. All right. So now you have two signs, tanwin and also the alif and lam, al-qalam. Other than you look at the meanings, of course. And so the third line, these are other examples. Yaum, day, right? So you can have tanwin, yaumun, or it can, if you put alif lam, you can say al-yaumu. You can have alif lam, the day. So this is another isim. Salatun, salah, prayer, prayer. So prayer here is not referring to the verb, you pray, or I pray, or he prays. No, this is referring to the action, the prayer that you do. Salatul zuhur. So here, if you see, again, you have this tanwin, salatun. So that is a noun and not a verb. You can have alif lam, as-salatu. Okay, that is another indicator, right? And there is another sign that the word is an isim, that is this ta marbuta. So if a word has ta marbuta, or you can put ta marbuta to a word, for example, the word talib, you can change to talibatun with ta marbuta. So that is also another indicator that the word is an isim. All right. So there are three signs. When you see one of the signs, you know that is an isim. So salatun is prayer, another isim, and the last one is shajara. So this is tree. Shajara is a tree. That is another isim. Okay. So that is the first group of word. We call them isim. The second group of word is called fi'lun. Fi'lun or fi'l. Now, so fi'l, of course, you have learned the three types of fi'l. Fi'l madin, fi'l mudari, wa fi'l amr. Okay, the three types of fi'l. Fi'l madin, past tense. Fi'l mudari, present tense or future tense. And fi'l amr, verb of command. Right? So these are the examples. Zahaba, went. He went. Zahabat, she went. Zahabtu, I went. So these are all verbs. So the second line, this is the example of fi'l mudari, present tense. Yaqra'u, he reads. Taqra'u, she reads or you read. And aqra, I read. So these are all fi'l mudari. And the third line, these are the examples of fi'il amr, the command verb. Ijlis, sit down. So we ask somebody to sit down. Ali, ijlis. Ijlisu. All students, all of you, sit down. Ijlisu. Ijlisna. All female students, sit down. So these are all fi'il amr. Naam. Okay, so this is the second group of word, fi'lun. And how do you know it is a verb? First, of course, you look at the meaning, and then you look at the pattern. So we have seen some fi'il maldi, for example, zahaba, qara'a, jalasa. So they share similar pattern. And then you can have this zahabat, zahabatu, zahabna, zahabati. So that is an indicator that the word is a verb. If for fi'il mudari, what is the sign that the word is a verb? Fi'il mudari, here you see ya, yaqra'u, taqra'u, aqra'u, naqra'u. You have one of these four letters, aqra'u, yaqra'u, in front of the fi'il. So that is one indicator that the word is a verb. And fi'il mudari, to be specific. And the last one is ijlis, ijlisu, ijlisna. This is for fi'il amr. All right, so this is the second group of word. We call them fi'lun. And the third group of word, we call them harfun. And harfun, this is, again, I repeat, this is not a single letter, alif, ta, sim, jim. No, this is a particle, one word. Even though it consists of only one letter, but it is considered as one word because it has meaning. For example, the word min, from. So, ila, to, an, about, ala, on, fi, in, be, with, li, for. See, one letter, but it contains meaning. So this is what we call them as, this is what we call it as harf. Li, for, wa, an, fa, so, on. Then, there are a few meanings of the word fa. Then, and, la, no, or is not, la. Inna, indeed. Okay, so these are some examples of harf. Naam. Okay, any questions so far for the three group of words? Ism, fi'il, and harf. Anything you want to ask? Okay, so if there's no question, now from this one, we go to the second topic, which is the types of sentences, right? So in Arabic, there are two types of sentences. And these two types of sentences, they are depending on the type of word that you use in the beginning of a sentence, okay? So whether you start the sentence using an isim, or you start the sentence using a verb, fi'il, or you start a sentence using a harf, all right? So now let us look at the two types of sentences. The first one is called al-jumla. So the word al-jumla, this is the word, this is the grammar word for sentence. Okay, we call it jumla. So jumla is sentence. Al-jumla, the sentence. So what is the first type of jumla? We have here al-jumla al-ismiya, al-jumla al-ismiya, al-jumlatul ismiya. So this jumla ismiya, if you look at the word jumla ismiya, you have this word. What is the word? What is that word?
Ismu.
Ismun, good. So this is actually coming from the word ismun, all right? So we call the jumla ismiya. So the translation in English, normally they translate it as nominal sentences, where nominal here is related to name or noun. Okay, so this is related to noun sentence or nominal sentence. So what does it mean by noun sentence? Noun sentence, to make it easy, to make it simple, noun sentence is when you start the sentence using isim. That is the easiest definition of nominal sentence. When you start the sentence using an isim, then your sentence becomes al-jumla al-ismiyah. Okay, so that is the meaning of al-jumla al-ismiyah. Now we look at the second sentence, second type of the sentence. Al-jumlatu al-fi'liyah. Al-jumlatul fi'liyah. Al-jumlatul fi'liyah. So, yes, this word is from which word? The word al-fi'liyah here.
Fi'il.
This is from the word fi'lun. Yeah, you see that word? Fa ain lam, right? So al-fi'liya is from the word, is taken from the word fi'l just now. So what is al-jumlatul fi'liya, or the verbal sentence? Al-jumlatul fi'liya is when you start the sentence using a verb. So when you start a sentence using a verb, zahaba so and so, then the sentence is called jumla fi'liya. Okay, so it is either in Arabic, the sentences are either categorized as al-jumla al-ismiya when you start the sentence using an isim, or al-jumla al-fi'liya when you start the sentence using a fi'l. And what about if you start the sentence using a harf? Okay, if you start your sentence using a harf, then we need to see the rest of the sentence. Then only we can determine whether it is jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya. Okay, we don't have the third type of jumla, which is jumla harfiya. No. So if you see a sentence starting with all these harf, all these huruf, so it is either this jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya. Most of the time, it is jumla ismiya. Okay, jumla ismiya. Nah. All right. So that is the two categories of al-jumla al-ismiya and al-jumla al-fi'liya. Before I go to the examples and the grammar rules, is there any questions regarding these two? Al-jumla al-ismiya and al-jumla al-fi'liya? Any questions? Okay. Now, so now let us look at the examples, and after that I will talk about the important grammar rule. First, we look at the first sentence. Al-jumla al-ismiya. We start with jumla al-ismiya. So, of course, in these sentences, we will be using the words together with a verb. Okay, so we are going to focus on the usage of isim and the usage of verb. Okay, and let us see the connection or the relationship between the two, the isim, the noun, and also the verb. Now, al-jumla al-ula for al-jumla al-ismiya, for the nominal sentence. Al-waladu dhahaba ila al-madrasati. الولد ذهب إلى المدرسة. نعم، ما معنى الجملة؟ الولد ذهب إلى المدرسة.
A boy goes to school.
A boy. Here you have the alif lam.
So
The boy.
the boy
Mm-mm. The boy
went to school.
to school. Again, you have alif lam here.
To school. To the school.
To the school. Yes. So the sentence is the boy went to the school. Yes, correct. Okay. Now you look at here. This is jumla ismiya because we start the word. We start the sentence with a noun, with an isim. How do you know this is an isim?
There's alif lam in front.
Okay, there is alif lam. That's correct. There is alif lam in front of the word. Yes. Another way you know that this is an isim?
We can find the double word the
The tan
front. I mean, yeah,
tanwin. You can put
yeah,
tanwin
tanween.
actually
Yes.
here. But of course, for this particular sentence, we cannot put any tanwin. So this is the sign that you have to to look at. That is number one. Number two, you look at the meaning. The boy. So a boy is definitely an isim. Okay. So al-waladu dhahaba ila al-madrasa jumlah ismiyah. But what I want you to see here is you look at the relationship between the word al-walad and the word zahaba. Of course, when we learn the fi'l, we learn fi'l madin, fi'l mudari, and fi'l amr, we know that fi'l must match the person, right? That is why you have huwa, zahaba, hiya, zahabat, anta, zahabta, ana, zahabtu, and so on. Okay, what about this one, huwa? Sorry, walad. What is the domir for walad? Is this huwa, hiya, or anta?
Hua.
Huwa. Okay, so this is huwa. Al-walad, huwa. Al-walad is is for huwa. So since this is huwa, then the fi'l is, of course, you should use zahaba. So they must match. If you use jumla ismiya, so the noun must match the verb. The verb must match the noun. If this is singular mufrad, then this word should be for mufrad. Okay? And if this is this muzakkar or muannas?
Muzaka Ustaz.
Muzakkar, because it is huwa. So that is why the word is zahaba. Right? So that is the first thing that you need to observe. Okay. Now we go to the second one. Yeah. Al-waladani dhahaba ila al-madrasa. Al-waladani dhahaba ila al-madrasa. Okay, so this is actually the same sentence. The difference is that we change this to two, musanna. So now you have waladani, two boys. The two boys. Zahaba, both of them went. Ila al-madrasa. Okay, so what do you see here? Why do you change the word zahaba to zahaba?
Because it's fi'il madhi with musanna, two present.
This is fi'il madhi for musanna. And how do you know this is musanna?
We can find ani at the end of al-walad.
Yes, because you see this ani, right? So you see this ani, walad, waladan. Now you know this is two. Okay, waladani. So muzakkar or muannas? Is this for muzakkar or this is for muannas?
Muzakkar, Ustaz.
This is for muzakkar. And what is the domir? Is it hiya? Is it antuma?
Huma.
This is for huma. Okay, so since this is for huma, muzakkar, therefore your verb you must change, okay, to the correct one. So we say huma zahaba. We don't say huma zahaba, right? So again, your verb must match the noun, okay, that you use in the sentence. So this is the rule for jumla ismiyah, right? So basically, this is similar to what we have learned previously. When it is huwa zahaba, when it is huma zahaba. And the third one, al-awladu zahabu ila al-madrasa. The same sentence, but now we change to awlad. So awlad is jama'. This is the jama' for the word al-walad. Al-jam'u, al-awlad, the boys. Now, so the boys, this is jama'. Therefore, if you look at the verb we change to zahabu. Zahabu. So, what is the damir when we say awlad? What is that? Is it anta? Is it hum? Is it hiya? Is it hunna?
Hum, Ustaz.
Al-awlad, the damir is hum. Naam, sahih. Yeah, azam. Hum. So we say hum, al-awlad is equivalent to hum. So therefore, since the damir is hum, the fi'il, you must change to zahabu. Because we say hum zahabu. Al-awladu zahabu. Okay, so that is, again, where the verb must match the noun. This is the important rule in jumlah ismiyah. Al-jumlatul ismiyah. Okay, the next sentence. The next sentence now we have muannas word. Al-bintu, the girl. Al-bintu zahabat. Now we change to zahabat. Al-bintu zahabat ila al-madrasa. Okay, why do we change to zahabat? What is the damir now? When I say al-bintu, the girl. Is it anta? Is it hiya? Is it ana? Is it home? Is it antunna? Is it anti? Okay, please, the rest other than Azam, please try. Aisha and Izzati, Amal. What is the damir now? Al-bintu. When I say the girl.
Huwa?
Huwa? Is it huwa, Aisha?
No, it's auntie.
Auntie. If you say auntie, auntie means you. So is this you? When I say al-bintu, is this you? You or she?
Here, here.
Here, sahih. So here it is not auntie. It is not you because I'm not talking to here. I'm not talking to her. I'm talking about her. So this is here. All right. So this is here. So when the damir is here, the fi'il is zahabat. Correct, Aisha? Okay, here
Yes.
zahabat. Yes. Okay, so that is why here we change to zahabat. So again, the rule still apply. So we say we must match the verb to the noun that you start your sentence with. Al-bintu zahabat. We don't say al-bintu zahaba. Why? Because al-bintu, the damir for al-bintu is hiya, she. Okay, good. So now the second one, al-bintani. Al-bintani dhahabata ila al-madrasa. So this is the same sentence, but now we change to musanna. Bintani, you have the alif and nun here. So this alif nun is an indicator that the word is musanna, is two. So what is the damir now? When we say al-bintani, what is the damir? The two girls. Is it huwa, hiya, anta, antuma, huma, hum, hunna, nahnu? Huma, Azam says huma. Naam, sahih. But is this huma for muzakkar or for huma for muannas, Amal?
Muannas.
This is huma for muannas, correct. So since this is huma for muannas, then your verb must be zahabat. Zahabat, this is for hiya, and zahabata, alif. Alif is for two. Zahabata. So huma zahabata ila al madrasah. Okay. So again, when your sentence start with isim, then your verb must match the isim. So we say al bintani zahabata. Now the third one, al-banat, the same sentence, but now we change to jama. Al-banat is jama for bint, the girls. So the girls. So now al-banatu, what about the fi'il? The fi'il you change to zahabna. Zahabna. Okay. The question is, why is it zahabna? What is the domir? You want to check whether this is correct or not, then you have to check the domir. What is the domir for al-banat? Is it anta? Is it hiya? Is it antum? Is it antuma?
Hunna.
Hunna. Naam, sahih Aisyah. So this is hunna. This is hunna. Okay, so al-banatu, they, the domir is hunna. So the fi'il must be zahabna, because when we learn hunna, when we learn the fi'il madi, we say hunna zahabna. Okay, so that is again the rule for jumla ismiyah. Both the isim and the verb, they must match. Okay, right. So this is the example of jumla ismiyah. And for you use the isim, you use the noun with fi'il madi. Now here, okay, this is another example. This time I use the name of the person. Okay, instead of al-walad, al-waladani, al-awlad, or al-bint, al-bintani, or al-banat, we use the person's name. Okay, so this is actually similar. You just need to identify the domir. Okay, all right. And the noun here, we change to fi'il mudari. Okay, we change to fi'il mudari. Now, Muhammad yazhabu ila al-madrasah. Okay, ma makna Muhammad yazhabu ila al-madrasah?
Muhammad is going to the school.
Nah, Muhammad is going to the school. Nah, Maisha, shukran. Muhammad is going to the school. Or you can also say Muhammad goes to the school. Nah, so that is the, because now this is fi'il mudari. Okay, why do we say yazhabu? Why not tazhabu? Why not azhabu? Why not nazhabu? What is the domir for
Huwa.
Muhammad? Yes, this is for huwa. So since this is huwa, we say huwa yazhabu. So this is the same rule again. Okay, where the verb must match the noun that you use. Okay, Muhammad yazhabu. Why yazhabu? Because Muhammad is huwa. Huwa yazhabu. Okay. Now the second one, the second jumlah. Here we have Muhammad wa Zaid. Muhammad and Zaid. So since this is Muhammad wa Zaid, what is the domir now? What is the domir now? Muhammad wa Zaid. Izati, what is the domir Izati?
Huma.
Huma. Nah, the domir is now huma, correct. So since this is huma for muzakkar, then your verb must be yazhabani. You have to change this to huma. Huma yazhabani. So that is why when we say Muhammad wa Zaid, Muhammad wa Zaidun yazhabani, because now this is for huma, for two. Naam. And the last one, Muhammad wa Zaid wa Umar. So now we have three. Muhammad wa Zaid wa Umar. Okay, what is the domir? Naam, Jahan. What is the domir here, Jahan? For these three people.
For three people, the plural one, I don't know, sir.
What is the domir? Huwa, hiya, anta, anti, antuma?
Antuma.
No, antuma is for two.
Oh. Antumna.
Antuna is for female.
Oh, okay, sir. Sorry, I forgot, sir. Sorry, sir.
Aisha, what is the domir, Aisha?
Antum.
Antum. Antum. Are we talking to them or we talk about them?
talking about them is home.
We are talking about them, so it is home. We are not talking to them. If you are talking to them, we say Ya Muhammad, Ya Zaid, Ya Umar. Then you are talking to them, then it is antum. Okay, but now we are talking about them, about these students, about these people. Then the damir is home. So when it is home, you look at the verb hum yazhabuna. Hum yazhabuna. So you change this to yazhabun. Hum yazhabuna ila al madrasah. Now, okay. So again, your verb must match the domir. Yeah, they must match the people. All right. So that is the important rule for al jumlah al ismiya. Okay. Any question regarding this jumlah al ismiya before we go to jumlah fi'liyah? Any questions? Okay. Now, if there is no question, we go to jumlah fi'liyah. Al-jumlah fi'liyah, as we have mentioned in the beginning of the class, is where you use a fi'l, where you use a verb. Okay, you start your sentence using a verb. So if you look at these sentences, they all started with verbs. Instead of al-waladu zahaba, now we change to zahaba al-walad. Okay, you just switch the two words. Al-walad zahaba, we change to zahaba al-walad. The sentence, both sentences are correct. Okay, both sentences are correct. So it is up to you. You can use jumlah ismiyah, you can use jumlah fi'liyah. But when you use jumlah ismiyah, you must make sure that the verb must match the noun. Okay, that is the important rule for jumlah ismiyah. But what about jumlah fi'liyah? Okay, jumlah fi'liyah is a bit different. For jumlah fi'liyah, if you look at all these jumlah, these are all the same sentences, okay, that we have explained previously. These are all the same sentences with the exception that we change the position. You put the fi'l in front of the person. So now the sentence is Zahaba al-waladu. The boy went to the school. You look at the second sentence. Al-waladani. Now we change to two. But what about the verb? The verb remains the same thing. Okay, again, look at the verb. The verb remains the same thing. We don't change to zahaba. Okay, not like fi'l jumlah ismiyah just now. Jumlah ismiyah, yes, you have to change to zahaba because this is the rule for jumlah ismiyah where the verb must match the noun that you use if it is jumlah ismiyah. But when it is jumlah fi'liyah, you don't need to change the verb. The verb remains in this singular form. Zahaba, you only need to change the person. Zahaba al-waladani. Okay, do you see this? Zahaba al-waladani. Right? So you don't have to say Zahaba al-waladani ila al-madrasah. No, that is not accepted nowadays. Right? Zahaba al-waladani. The correct one is Zahaba al-waladan. If you look at the third example, so now we change the word al-walad to al-awlad. This is now jama'. But what about the verb? The verb is still in the singular form. We still use zahaba. We don't change to zahabu. Okay, we don't change to zahabu, not like the jumlah ismiyah. Jumlah ismiyah, you have to change to zahabu. All right? But for this one, it is zahaba again. So this is the very important rule. Very important rule for jumlah fi'liyah is the verb remains in the singular form. All right? So you only need to change the noun that is following the verb. All right? But if you switch the position again, if you bring back the noun to the front of the verb, then you have to change the verb because it now becomes the jumlah ismiyah, just like the previous sentences. Now we look at jumlah number 4. So now this is for mu'annas, al-bintu. Okay, al-bintu. Okay, of course, since this is mu'annas, you have to change the verb to the mu'annas form. Okay, to suit mu'annas word. So you don't say zahaba al-bintu anymore. Okay, we don't say zahaba al-bintu because zahaba this is for muzakkar. We need to change to mu'annas and the mu'annas form is zahabat. Right? Just like we use it for hiya. So we say zahabat al-bintu or al-bintu zahabat. Okay, so that is number 1. So here, this is similar. This is same. Same for both jumlah ismiyah and for both jumlah fi'liyah. Okay. If you look at the previous sentences, we use the same verb, zahabat. Okay, this is also zahabat. So for singular, we don't have any problem. They are similar. The problem is when you change this to musanna. So now we have al-bintani, two. Al-bintani, al-bintani, two bint, two daughters, two girls. But if you look at the verb remains in the singular form. We don't change to zahabata. Okay, we don't change to zahabata. Okay, just like here, al-bintani zahabata. No. So here we retain the singular form of the verb. Zahabat as well. Zahabat al-bintani. Zahabat al-bintani ila al-madrasa. The two girls went to the school. So when you see jumlah fi'liyah, you don't, of course, when you translate, you look at the people, the person first. Who is doing this? Or the two girls. The two girls went to the school. Right? So that is, yes, for musanna. And for jama, al-banat, this is jama. Yeah? But even though this is jama, but since you start the sentence with a verb, you don't need to change the verb to the jama form. Yeah, it remains in the singular form. Zahaba. And zahabat, because this is female muannas, then you change to zahabat. So the sentence is zahabat al-banatu ila al-madrasa. The girls went to the school. Okay, so that is the important rule that you need to remember concerning al-jumlah, al-fi'liyah. The verb remain in the singular form. Okay, it remains in the singular form. Now, you only change the muzakkar and the muannas. Next jumlah, yazhabu Muhammadun ilal madrasa. Muhammad yazhab Muhammad. So this is, since this is now fi'il mudari, and since this is mufrad, so we don't have any problem here. You can say yazhabu Muhammad, or you can switch back to jumlah ismiyah. You can say Muhammad yazhabu. We use the same fi'il, the same verb without any changes. Now, when you change this to two, or you add another person, Muhammad wa Zaid. So now you have two people, Muhammad wa Zaid. But if you look at the verb remains in the singular form, yazhab. Why? Because this is jumlah fi'liyah. So in jumlah fi'liyah, again, you don't have to change this to yazhabani. Okay, but if you bring these two words, Muhammad wa Zaid, you bring it to the front, then of course, definitely, the verb must change, just like what we had previously. Muhammad wa Zaid yazhabani. Right. Then the last jumlah. So now we have three people, Muhammad wa Zaid wa Umar. Muhammad wa Zaid wa Umar. But even though you have three people, or four, or five, or six, or more, but since this is jumlah fi'liyah, where you start your sentence with a verb, you look at the verb, you don't have to change to the jama' form. It remains in the singular form. So again, we say, yazhabu Muhammad wa Zaidun wa Umar ila al-madrasah. Okay, so this is the important rule. Okay, the one important rule that you need to remember when you write in jumlah fi'liyah, that is the verb does not change to musanna or jama' form. It remains in the singular form. What you need to observe is the muzakkar and the muannas. Now, all right. Okay, any question for these two types of jumlah, two types of sentences? No questions? Azam, any question, Azam?
Ustaz, I have one question regarding the nominal sentence.
Nominal sentence, jumlah ismiyah.
Yes. If you want to add the adjective for our noun, should we put it after the noun? For example, al-walad kabirun, or we just put it at the end of the sentence?
Okay, good. Thank you, Azam. Azam is asking how if you want to add an adjective. Okay, you want to add an adjective to the word. So, for example, he said the word kabir. Okay, you want to say the big boy, right? So, what is the rule, or how do you do this? Okay, actually, we have another lesson. Another grammar lesson that is adjective. So, we will look at the details in the lesson of adjective. So, maybe if not Wednesday, maybe next week's Monday. Right? So, but just to give you a brief answer, adjective comes after the noun. Adjective comes after the noun that you want to describe. For example, here, you take the first example, al-walad. We take the first sentence. Al-walad zahaba ila al-madrasa. Al-walad zahaba ila Al-madrasah. Okay, that is your sentence. Now you want to add an adjective. Where do you put the adjective? You put it immediately after the noun. Here. You don't wait until the end, because if you put it at the end of the sentence, then the meaning is for different word. If you put it here, then kabir is not describing the walad. Kabir is describing another word, which is madrasah. Okay, do you get that, Azam?
Yes, thank you, Ustaz.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask one more question.
Yes.
If I start the sentence with ila madrasah zahaba al-walad, is it considered nominal or verbal?
Yes, thank you. Okay, wait, before I come to that, let us give you some additional information about the adjective. All right, so first, here we say that you put the adjective here after the noun. So you say al-walad, and then you put the adjective. That is number one. The location is after the noun. Number two, there are several other rules that you need to observe for the adjective, which we will give you the details in the adjective lesson. But to give it a brief idea, an idea, the adjective must match the noun: muzakkar, muannas, mufrad, musanna, and jama'. So here, is this muzakkar or muannas? Al-walad?
It is muzakkar.
Al-walad is muzakkar. So your word kabir is correct, because this is in the muzakkar form. Okay, but what if we change this al-walad to al-bint? Muannas, you don't say
Kabira.
kabir. Yes, you have to change to kabira. So that is another rule that we need to observe. And this is singular. This must be singular as well. Okay, and there is another important rule. Here you have alif lam, al-walad. Therefore, for the adjective, you will see al as well. So we say al-waladul kabir. We don't say al-walad kabir zahaba. No, al-waladu al-kabiru zahaba. Right? So that is the brief information about the adjective. Okay, but I will give you the detail in the next lesson, inshallah. Okay, that is your first question. The second question for Azam is, what if we start the sentence with ila? Okay, ila al-madrasati. Again, what is the sentence, Azam, just now? Ila al-madrasati.
Ila madrasati zahaba
Ila
al-walad.
al-madrasati zahaba al-waladu.
Al-walad.
Ila al-madrasati zahaba al-walad. Okay, ila al-madrasah zahaba al-walad. Sorry. Ila al-madrasah zahaba al-walad. Well, actually, you will not see this kind of sentence, because normally people will say zahaba al-waladu ila al-madrasah. Okay, but if you see this sentence, ila al-madrasah zahaba al-walad, this is, as I've mentioned just now, even though, as I've mentioned in the beginning of the sentence, in the beginning of the class, we say that if the sentence starts with this group harf, so the type of sentences is still either jumlah ismiyah or jumlah fi'liyah. How do you know that? By looking at the rest of the sentence. So here, if you look at the rest of the sentence, ila al-madrasati zahaba al-walad. What actually you want to say here? You want to say about the boy, right? What is he doing? Or what does he do?
Went to school.
He went to school. So your focus is about this zahaba al-walad. So when we say zahaba al-walad, this is jumlah. What is this jumlah? Jumlah ismiyah or jumlah fi'liyah?
Jumlah fi'liyah.
That is jumlah fi'liyah. So this sentence is actually belong to the jumlah fi'liyah group. Why? Because the sentence originally is zahaba al-waladu ila al-madrasah. Is it okay, Azam?
Thank you, Ustaz.
Okay, I give you another example. Fil madrasah. Okay, I want to say there is a teacher. There is a teacher in the school. So what is the word for teacher?
Mudaris.
Mudaris. Okay, now you want to say in the school there is a teacher. So if you look at this jumlah, again, this sentence starts with a harf ila. But what is the type of the sentence here? Is it jumlah ismiyah or jumlah fi'liyah? It is either one. Okay, you don't have jumlah harfiyah. No, it is either jumlah ismiyah and jumlah fi'liyah. So here, fil madrasah, you have to look at the next word, which is mudarris. So do you say that this mudarris is doing anything, or just you say there's a teacher?
Just a teacher, just the teacher.
Yes, we don't say the teacher is doing this or is doing that, right? So there is no verb involved. There is no verb involved. So therefore, in this jumla is still is a jumla al-ismiyah. This is jumla ismiyah. Even though you start with fi, but this is still jumla fi'l ismiyah, because the sentence, you can rewrite the sentence like this. You say al-mudarrisu fi al-madrasah. So if we rewrite the sentence, we say al-mudarrisu fil madrasah, then definitely this is jumlah ismiyah. This is jumlah ismiyah. Okay. So this is actually there is another topic. There's a grammar topic actually, but of course we don't learn that in our syllabus. There's another topic where you can start your sentence using a harf, but it is still considered as jumlah ismiyah. Yes. So again, jumlah, there are only two types, ismiyah and fi'liyah. Okay, the most easiest way to identify is by looking at the first word, whether it is isim or fi'il. But if you see harf, then again this will go back to either these two. So you need to look at the rest of the sentence, then only can you identify whether this is jumlah ismiyah and jumlah fi'liyah. And point number two, the relationship between this jumlah is between the noun and the verb. Between the noun and the verb in jumlah ismiyah and jumlah fi'liyah. In jumlah ismiyah, both must be similar. Both must be the same, sorry. Both must be the same. But in jumlah fi'liyah, the verb remains in the singular form. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If there's no questions, okay, if there's no questions, so this is the topic about jumlah ismiyah and jumlah fi'liyah. Yeah. All right.